Watching film this week, we're going to take a look at Notre Dame. USF had a good win last week against Citadel on the triple option. This week, they will face a totally different challenge. Notre Dame's led by quarterback Ian Book. He's been playing for a long time and played in a lot of big games, and he's been very successful. He's got a ton of experience returning the offense line with him. I believe over 50 starts. And he's got a tailback that had a big splash last week in Kyron Williams. There's some other weapons, and we're going to go through that. But let's kind of take a look at the Notre Dame offense here. So we're going to look through their game against Duke last week. Just a little. That's one of their tight ends, Tommy Tremble. Great name. Sounds like a British 80s hair band guy. So we're going to get a little switch release here. So switch release. He's probably going to push a little bit more vertical here. It seemed to me that Notre Dame ran a lot of vertical routes. They may not have showed a ton in the passing game, but this is technically a conference game for them, so I don't know why they wouldn't show it here and would show it next week. So it wasn't a lot of craziness in the pass game. There's a play coming up that's really cool. But they ran a lot of verticals, and I think they give the receivers the option to read. If I've got somebody deep and I can't beat them, I can sit down. So you'll see a lot of comebacks for Notre Dame last week. There's a nice catch by the tight end, good throw, good timing. Picks up a first down on 3rd and 5, backed up in your own end. So that's what the senior quarterback there. You trust him to not make a mistake, backed up here. So let's get to this play. So you got two tight ends here. They're going to basically run a flood concept. So what typically the kind of traditional flood is, you have a go. You have somebody in the flat. So like deep third, short third. And then you have somebody coming into the intermediate third. So you have different levels, and you're flooding this third of the field. So typically you only have two defenders in that third of the field, is when you like to call this. So I can high-low somebody. So how Notre Dame runs it is really interesting because they have a back, a receiver, and then two tight ends here. So they have four guys on this side. What they're going to do, traditionally floods a three-man concept. What they're going to do is they're going to run him through. He has to go. Your running back becomes your flat player. And then he's going to become the out player. So kind of let this go route clear it out, and then he becomes the intermediate guy. You can kind of see it's happening right here. He's going to go, and there's going to be a natural rub behind him. Right there, your flat player's got eyes here. This go route is going to get eyes going that way. The go route down here is going to take the corner out of the play. So right there, and this is not a big hole, and this is a really good throw. I believe that's a freshman tight end there. Michael Mayer, I believe, from Kentucky. Very highly rated player. I think he was number 2 tight end by some services. I think you're going to see a lot of 2 tight end stuff from Notre Dame. Here's some of the run game. Just going to get a little counter with the guard and the H-back. H-back will kind of read the guard's block. If the guard, so let's go through here. We'll read the guard's block. If this guy stays wide, the guard will kick him out. H-back will wrap inside for this linebacker. What happens here? He kind of jumps inside, so the guard logs him. Your H-back keeps coming around. So he's kind of going to read the block of the guard. Good job in there. You get your H-back coming. Good run. And this is Kyron Williams, who had a really big breakout game against Duke. He's getting a lot of love from the national media. and well deserved after week 1. So here's an interesting formation. You'll see it later, but so like a tight bunch. There's a lot you can do out of this formation, but this is an interesting way to showcase it here. So you're going to have a reverse, which is something you can do out of this. So Book's going to go back, fake the handoff to the back, fake the reverse. Looks like he's dropping back to throw a shot play. There's the handoff. There's the reverse. Looks like maybe a shot play, but actually they're going to run screen. So a really well-designed screen play here, giving a lot of eye candy to the defense, making them really kind of think, is it run, is it reverse? No, it's a shot. Oh, it's a screen. You'll even have him coming across here for protection, reverse, fake the dive, leak out on the screen. These guys will pass set, and it looks like it's a center that sneaks out and pins a defender inside. Really good design, little eye candy for the defense. Get it to one of your best players in space and let them run. So they get that one inside the 5 there. So same formation here, another look you can run out of it. This is like everybody loves this play out of this look. You got a pin, I believe here, then you're pulling wide. So when you can pin a guy inside and pull, a pin, pull, toss. Duke plays it pretty well here. You want to be aimed a little bit outside his hip, so if he tries to go over the top, you've got it. If you go right at him and he goes over the top, you lose him, which is what happens here. But he gets picked up by the first pull guy, which is the receiver, and then you got a really strong run here by Kyron Williams. He's going to be a load to handle. He's an athletic guy, but he runs really hard too. It's a little pin pull, so they get you with these tight formations. So the same formation they've run the toss, pin pull toss out of. They've run the reverse screen, the fake reverse screen. They could probably run a reverse. They could run some regular pass concepts out of that. So that's going to be a formation I would expect to see. Here's just like having a senior quarterback. We're going to bring pressure. I see it. I don't panic. I know I got my receiver there. He throttles down. I give it to him away from the safety, right? A lot of quarterbacks might just throw it in here, and now he's got a chance to make a play. Throw it away from the safety. Pick up a decent gain on first down. Live to play another down. So really good by your quarterback there. This is a 4th and 1. I think you're going to see a lot of power football from Notre Dame. I think they found a little bit of their stride in the second half with his back and those offensive linemen moving people. I feel like you might see that a lot on Sunday. A little defense slipped in here. All right. Again, counter. Hard run. So we start here, we'll motion to it, and now we're coming back. So it's all kind of eye candy. Making you think. Cloudy minds create slow feet. And I believe this is duo, which is a play to get the center blocking back on duo is what I've been told. So double teams, and the back's kind of looking at the second level guys. So this is a big-time NFL concept. A lot of NFL teams like to run. I believe this is a little duo. So I think you're going to get a lot of downhill running right at you by this Notre Dame offense. The Bulls will have to be ready for that. And then off the running, nice little play action. Clear it out. Run fake sells it. Sell the run fake and slip out in the flat. Good design. You see this a lot in the red zone. NFL teams are really starting to get into it. You see it a lot in NFL games. You're starting to see it more. It's a nice design, especially if you're going to be a run heavy team like Notre Dame is. And if I'm USF, I'm expecting to see a ton of power football, a ton of 2 tight ends, 12 personnel stuff. The ball being run at me, and then play action and play action shots off that run action. Um, if I'm Notre Dame after last week, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well, because they were able to move the ball so well last week once they started to kind of establish the run, and it appears that they're not as athletic and don't have as many pros on the outside as they have in the past. I think they have some good tight ends. They have a good back. They have a good quarterback, so you can kind of manage the game that way. Or maybe they don't have that explosiveness outside that they've had in the past, but they can supplement that or kind of take care of that through the run game, the screen game, which you saw, using misdirection and using play action to create some shots down the field. So I that's what I think we will see from the Notre Dame offense on Saturday.